Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and we're going to talk about the Little Mermaid because you already know I'm about to just go on maybe a tangent, maybe a rant, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But the reason why I want to say it is because now that Memorial Day weekend is over and we getting projection numbers, it's still not looking good for Little Mermaid. So anybody that's talking about, oh, Little Mermaid number one in the box office, maybe not. Adjust for inflation. Sure, I guess, but domestically, okay, but internationally, that's not bad. I mean, that's bad. That's bad, which means that they barely brought in any money, internationally and domestically. There's been a little bit of people saying like how, actually they got $80 million, in box office sales from a partnership deal that they had already had. So that already went to the movie. And I guess they got a total of $160 million domestically. But, I mean, not $160 million domestically, but worldwide is $160 million. Like, that's not a big number. And people was talking about, oh, that's a success. If the budget is only $250 million, then they almost there. They almost broke even. And it's just like, no, they really haven't. Especially adjusting for inflation, that is still not good. Tickets done went up by 33%, I believe, with the inflation cost. So we're just trying to spin this story into it's something good to be like, it's the fifth biggest sale in more it's the fifth highest movie during Memorial Day weekend, but it's a 4-day weekend and the movie barely made money. Like, that's kind of pathetic for a movie to be released on Memorial Day and you had 4 days and this is what you get out of it. No, that is bad. And then some people was like, I don't know why you expect the movie to make $1 billion. I don't expect it to make $1 billion. Disney expects it to make $1 billion because of its other live action movies that did make $1 billion, and because a lot of Disney movies have been making $1 billion at the box office, it's only natural for the executives to want that to happen. So that's why it's considered a flop so far. Like, we'll see by next weekend if the projections are going to go up or down. But for right now, bad word of mouth is saying the movie's not all that great. And no matter how much you try to change the story around, it's not working, because you got news articles trying to say, oh, it's racist trolls. So if the international markets are rejecting the movie, so therefore they're racist. We know it's bombing in China, definitely, but it's also bombing in Germany, Japan as well. Parts of France, it's not doing well. So what, are those countries also racist against black people as well? No. And the reason why you know that is because Fast X is doing great internationally. And guess what? That has several black people in it, Latinos, whites, and Asians. So what's your excuse? The entire cast is diverse as fuck. So you can't really say, oh, it's because these countries hate diversity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, China's a little shaky a little bit, but that's China. You know what I mean? So, but even then, a lot of studios been trying to get the box office for China. They spend so much time and effort into trying to please China's sensibilities and trying to make sure they make movies that can be played in China instead of just making good movies in general. So when people be like, oh, China doesn't matter. Oh no, China does matter. China does matter to Hollywood. That's why a lot of these movies and shows changed around, and then that's why they'll put things where they're virtual signal to us in the United States, but in other countries they will remove a certain scene or whatever so it wouldn't offend those country sensibilities, because you know a lot of these country sensibilities don't play with the bull crap that America's trying to push on nowadays. I'm just being honest. But another thing too is that black people trying to say that this is a victory for black people. How is it a victory for black people? This story is a 40-year-old story, the Disney one. Not only that, the 1800 story, which is based off of, is a Danish fairy tale. Danish, Denmark. The country that don't have that much black people in it. Less than 2% of the population. And again, people have to understand black folks is still a minority in the United States. And, around the world, blacks in general is, are prevalent, but not prevalent around every parts of the world. You get what I'm saying? So again, you're trying to market to what by doing this? And then, let's make it even more embarrassing. There are TikTok videos going viral of black folks in the Little Mermaid movie fighting. Y'all embarrassing as hell. So they changed the movie around for black people, and guess what? Black folks over here fighting in the Little Mermaid movie, the quote unquote children's movie. And let's get that out of the way. Honestly, it's actually a family movie. Family movies. Y'all need to understand family movies, which means, yes, its target audience is children, but it's made for a family where even the adults can enjoy it. So this whole notion of, oh, it doesn't matter, it's a children's movie. Well, if that's the case, why would I take my child to see it if I know the movie's not going to be interesting enough for me to watch it? Or if I know the movie looks like trash, why would I take my child to go see it just because? There's been times where I thought a movie looked good when I was little, and my mom was just like, absolutely not, because she didn't like it. And then when you get older, you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, she was right. There's a reason why I didn't go see that movie. But I didn't have to really worry about that because I grew up in the 90s, where diversity and inclusion, actually real live diversity actually existed, where black people actually existed, apparently, since y'all want to try to be like, oh, this is a victory for black people because black people ain't never done anything until now. Like, everybody want to talk about how amazing this is because we finally get to see black people do something amazing with Disney, like as if there's never been any black characters. I could list black characters from Disney, but what's the point? You guys will pretend like those characters don't exist. So, because I guess Raven don't exist. I guess that's a Raven don't exist. I guess her character Monique doesn't exist. I guess Fillmore doesn't exist. I guess Aliza Monzel doesn't exist. I get the Muses doesn't exist. Esmeralda, Kita, Tiana, just to name a few characters that Disney had that are black, that y'all pretend like, oh, Disney never done it before or whatever and stuff like that. So I guess all of those characters just don't exist. You know what I'm saying? That's just the name. That's just to name a few characters that Disney had that are black and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there because you guys really don't care, right? Because black people don't exist. Princess Tiana's the only black character that Disney ever made. So yeah, let's go with that notion, right? So even then, now they want to try to do this thing where, it's cool because Haley's grandfather finally got saw his father and his grandfather pick cotton, and now he finally gets to see his granddaughter on a multi-billion-dollar Disney movie, and I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet, but I'm not falling for that bullshit because you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, look, he's a motherfucker trying to get over. Like they're trying to like get you with the pushing against the heartstrings by trying to say like, see, this is amazing, this is so cool for black people because after all the suffering black people did, he finally gets to see his granddaughter up on the big screen. Like, sir, you've seen plenty of black people before. Like, this isn't something brand new. And I get it. It is a special moment for him. But for the rest of the world, it's like, ugh. Then Disneyland is premiering their live action Ariel, and people want to be like, oh my God, I finally get to see my childhood hero and stuff like that. What are you talking about, you grown ass bastards? Like, Okay. Okay, I'm about to say. You grown ass bastards. Ariel has been white for 40 damn years. Now all of a sudden, because they decided to race swap her, now you finally get to see yourself. Like, it's the most asinine, dumb piece of shit I've ever seen. Like, what are you talking about? I finally get to see my childhood hero, and finally I get to see somebody that's like me. What happened? Why are black people so fucking weak-minded right about now? And then people be talking about, it doesn't matter, bro. It's a mermaid. They're not real. They don't have any culture. Well, actually they do, because the earliest myths started out in Greek culture. So they actually do have a culture, and again, it's still a predominantly white culture if you really want to kind of just go with the simplification of the cultures. And it's still mostly European countries that started the myths of mermaids. It's still not a black thing. Yes, there is black mermaids, but you guys won't even touch that. What was it? Mati Wata. It's a African mermaid folklore that a lot of people saying, hey, you could have did this story instead. You chose not to do that kind of stuff, Disney. So what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So and to me, it's just like, yeah, that's great for Ariels' grandfather, but it's how would I say? Like, okay, y'all, you know that saying, it's like one step forward and like 2 steps back, and that's literally what it is. Yes, it's a forward process for her grandfather to see that, but it's four steps back in representation for blacks. Because think about it, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen, Pam Grier. You know what I'm saying? Just those kind of actors that starred in original movies made for black folks and shows that made for black people. Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying? Like, these, you can get mad all you want to, but I'm just being honest. Sanford and Son, Red, Della Reese, all of these legendary black actors starred in stuff originally created for black actors, for black actresses. You really want to talk about world changing and stuff like that? That is world changing. Not, oh, we took a white character, made her black, and gave her dreads. Now people can feel like, wow, this is amazing. I finally get to see myself. No, that's not a victory, because it's going to be forgotten about by history. Oh, think about the children. Like somebody was trying to say, well, what movie have you done? Do I look like a fucking actor? And if I was an actor, I would take an original role. I wouldn't take no fake ass role if I know that fucking characters is not originally black. That's what I would do, because I have integrity, unlike these new gen black actors. Because I can tell you one thing, Denzel Washington, all of these actors I named or whatever, they would have never took sloppy seconds. And if you listen to a lot of their interviews, they always said that they would never do anything like that. They want something original. They want a character that's made to be black, not a character that is originally white and we're passing it on to a black person. No, the character is black in conception. So it's kind of funny that a lot of the black people now are so weak-minded, so weak-willed, that, oh, they just take whatever victory they get. Like one guy trying to say, well, I do music to coach children. Congratulations. You want a super cookie? Oh, because everybody's made on the planet to inspire children. I mean, I was inspired by a lot of things, but one thing I wasn't inspired by was, oh, I need to see myself in order for me to feel like I'm important or whatever, because I wasn't raised like that. That is more pathetic than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, okay, you want to talk about me not being important. Okay, So who heard of your music? You get what I'm saying? Like, people don't like that kind of stuff when when they try to attack you because you have an opinion, because you're smart enough to understand, like, hey, I'm not going to take this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? People want you to agree with the messaging that's going on, and I just do not subscribe to that messaging. I'm sorry, I'm too strong-willed to see that I need to see myself or think of the little black boys and girls. Like, that's all the Little Mermaid movie was talking about when it came to Haley. Think about all of I'm just doing this for the little black boys and little black girls that can finally see themselves, but then contradicts herself later by saying, like, oh my God, I love the Little Mermaid. When I was little, when I saw the movie, I was inspired to swim, and I just pretended like I was Ariel and stuff like that. Bam! So then, why do you think that you need to make a movie about where you're race swapping the white area that you were inspired by, so you can inspire little black boys and little black girls? For what? If so, what about all of the little black boys and girls who watched the 1989 film all these years? Weren't they inspired by Ariel to swim or to do more or whatever, or be adventurous or be spontaneous? What about those people? Were they weak? Did they not feel confident in themselves? Apparently they did. Especially when you see a lot of black grown ass people crying and dressing up as mermaids to celebrate this movie. So you guys were inspired by the original Little Mermaid movie. So again, it's not a victory for black people. It's not a victory, and we shouldn't cheer it as a victory. You got some people talking about, oh yeah, this suck it, white people. Oh, all the white people are going to be mad. All the racists are mad that this movie is doing so well. It's really not doing well. That's the problem. Just like the live action Little Mermaid stuff is not selling. Don't get it fooled. Just because it looked like it's sold out online doesn't mean it's sold out in stores. Because a lot of stores, it was already on clearance sale when I walked into Walmart and Target, places that actually sell the merchandise and stuff like that. It was already on the bargain because it's not movie merchandise. You would think it would, because of how you see pictures of these little black girls. They're on talk shows. They're doing photos with Haley, and they're talking about how this is amazing, and she got hair like me, and all of that nonsense that, at some point, are we going to sit in forever victimhood black people, or what? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't be inspired by other black people, and that's great, because I was inspired by other black people. But I guess because we all grew up in a different time where the blacks were doing something amazing, you know what I'm saying? They weren't sloppy seconds, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I saw from black people was originally black, honestly. If I've seen something, maybe that was originally white that they made black. Maybe, I don't know. I couldn't really tell you, because I grew up in the 90s where there was so much black entertainment, where there was so much black inspirational stuff going on, where not only just blacks, Latinos, Asians, you know what I'm saying, whites. There was so many things that I saw that I was inspired by that I never really questioned. Am I good enough? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy to see this generation now, 2016, post 2016, acting like black people ain't never did anything. It's the most baffling thing ever. And like I said before with the whole mermaid thing, again, yes, it's great for Haley's family that she's doing it, but I don't think it's a good thing to try to be like, this is something that black people fought for. We finally made it and stuff like that, when that's not true. We've been made it. We have already overcome that stuff. The only problem now is that we keep taking roles that are now originally for whites. I mean, for God's sakes, you got Shonda with that whole Bridgerton bullshit with Queen Charlotte. Like, that's fucking weird. Anne Boleyn, Joan of Arc, the Viking show. We are literally over here. Not only are we replacing fictional white characters, we are now replacing historical white characters as black. Like, and people were like, oh, it's just it's not real, or it's just inspired by. No, we are going too far. This is what I meant with the slippery slope of when you start allowing race swaps one way, it's going to become a slippery slope and stuff like that. I know some people are, you were okay with this character and this character. Not really. I never really was okay with Nick Fury, Kingpin, characters that they like to go and be like, well, you didn't say. Well, I really wasn't okay with that. But then when I found out about the whole Samuel L. Jackson thing, again, Marvel was obligated for that one. Kingpin, Michael Clark Duncan, he was an amazing actor, but again, the character is still supposed to be white. Just like I was upset, that Jennifer Garner didn't have the black hair color. When I see things aren't accurate, regardless of white, black, or whatever, I do speak out about it, and I do say, hey, I really don't like it and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm just only picking on blacks. It's just that the reason why it seems like it is because it's so prevalent with black people right about now. Because again, if the Little Mermaid was originally an African folklore, and then they decided to race swap her to white, and then for her to be like, oh, my grandfather saw my grandparents struggled and go through a whole lot of stuff, and now they finally get to see their granddaughter on the big screen as Ariel and stuff like that, y'all asses would be like, oh, that's racist, bitch. You stole black people's stories and blah, 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 blah. But the moment that somebody decides to do that to Haley and stuff like that, oh, it's racism. It's hate speech. You don't want to see black people succeed. Oh, I want to see black people succeed so much that I'm willing to fight against the narrative of black people need to see themselves. There are black characters out there. There are black stories out there. Y'all just don't want to read them. Y'all don't want to see them. And y'all don't want to support it. You get what I'm saying? For instance, even, y'all already know, art is my little hobby and stuff like that. I can come up with dozens of original black characters all day long, push them out or whatever. And most black people, because I can tell you for a fact, most black people will not even look that way. But the moment if I took a classical white character that they know and made it black, they is like, oh shit. It's the same thing for like cosplayers too. If a black cosplayer dress up as original black characters, that's cool, that's great, blase, right? But let them dress up as a white character, a Japanese character. Oh shit, we sticking it to the man. Oh, this character looks black. I always felt like this character was black. Like, the ignorancy of it all is completely stupid. And then when you have characters that try to go through the hero's journey, or try to be like, okay, even though I'm inspired by the white character and I'm, second fiddle to the white character, at least I'm trying my best. Y'all will be like, oh, he's trying to steal the white person stuff. No, the character went through the journey. He went through the journey. He's not replacing the white character. He's just here. He's here to be another version of that character. Yes, who happened to be black, but who's going through a different story process than the original white counterpart. And I'd rather that happen than you replacing the white character altogether and trying to say that same white person is now black. You get what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with Aragon. You know what I'm saying? Like, even then, let's even look at Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man. You already know what they look like, right? So if I found black actors that look just like the characters from the comic book and I put them in the roles, y'all would freak the hell out, right? Or let's even do that. Let's say I do the same thing. Let's say I found white people that look like Storm, Blade, Spawn, Luke Cage, War Machine, Bishop, just to name a few like black characters that you guys can know about. What if I took Vixen? What if I took those characters? Like, okay, I'm a casting director and I want these black characters in here. And all the black people that I saw, they were okay, they were cool, but they didn't give me the look, the feel of the characters. But then these white people walked in, right? And they gave me the feel of the characters. They act like Storm, they act like Vixen, they act like Luke Cage, they act like Steel, they act like Spawn, they act like Blade, and they look like the characters. Would it make sense for me to cast them? Yes, it would make sense for me to cast them. And anybody who said no, you're a hypocrite, because you have to take that same notion with Ariel. Ariel is still a white character that you made black because she was the best for the role. Okay, well, these white people were the best for the role. That's why I casted them as those black characters, because they look like the characters, they feel like the characters. Oh no, but you're not ready to hear that. But then you want to try to celebrate this and try to make this a black victory thing. Like, I was like, okay, black radio, because this is the funny thing, because I was taking my uncle out to go run some errands and stuff like that, and we, of course, we listen to black radio, of course, right? Such a stereotype. But anyway, I think it was a D.L. Hughley show, and they were talking about the Little Mermaid movie, and they was like, well, the movie's not really doing so well with audience. The visual effects suck. The music's not really hitting the same. The movie's too long. Children aren't really liking it like it should. The acting is stiff, but we should still support it because we gotta show people that we support black things and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking to myself, you just admitted the movie fucking sucks, but we should still go see it anyway just because the character's black? Bitch, is y'all stupid? You don't go and support shit just because it's black on there. Just like I don't expect people to support me just because I'm black. If you like my stuff, that's great. If you don't, I understand. But what I'm not going to do is sit up here and be like, oh, you better like my stuff because I'm black. No, that's not how this shit works. That's not how any of this stuff works. And I've run into people like that, and I run into indie creators too. That's another big no-no with some of the black indie creators who are trying to do work too. That I've run into is like, because they think because they're black and I'm black, I'm supposed to automatically support you. And it's just like, no, that's not how that works. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why it doesn't work is because you give a shitty ass product, or you want to lead with race. And I keep trying to tell people, when you're doing stuff like that, stop leading with race. You have to tell a good story from the jump. And if your main focus on the reason why this character should be sold or why people should support you is because the character is black, that is a no-no that y'all really gotta get y'all heads out of. You get what I'm saying? This whole notion of this is important for black culture. No, it's not important for black culture. It's honestly pathetic for black culture. It really is. I don't want our culture to be handed to us like we're some sloppy seconds. Like, oh look, here comes a new movie that is a remake of a classical white story where the character that I've known for years happened to be white, but we're gonna make them black, and then we're gonna tout it as an achievement for black folks. No. And then what's crazy is you got black actors, you got people in general trying to attack the audience and trying to say that they're racist for not showing up for the movie because a lot of audience members decided that, hey, this shit ain't for me because it's garbage, or I don't want to see a sloppy second. I'm sorry, I don't want to see sloppy seconds. I've named original black characters so many times in a whole bunch of videos that I've done about black characters that I would love to see. And until you guys start demanding for it, they're never going to do it because you accept sloppy seconds. And it's always funny too. Always get Captain White Savior, Captain Save-A-Ho, that always want to try to tell me how I'm wrong for not accepting race swaps and stuff like that. Well, you have to think about it. White people been stealing. No. I'm just gonna cut you off right about there. You is not going to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about my race being swapped in movies. You're not going to tell me how this is important for black people. You're not going to speak on that, and you're not going to speak for me. Just like, well, I'm not really speaking for black people, but I'm speaking for the intelligent black people who I know do not like this stuff. Hell, even then, let's go back to recently. Double Toasted made a video. A part of their video went viral about the Little Mermaid movie, where they were like, wow, this movie was crap and stuff like that. And, you know, back in the day, I was just taking what was given. But now I'm starting to see what people are saying about these race swaps and how lazy these race swaps is and how we want originality. And it's just like, dumbass, we've been trying to tell yo dumbass this for a long time. But no, you wanted to be like, well, it's black. We should accept whatever we get because we don't get that much. No, that's a falsehood that you put in your mind, that y'all put into the black community. You lied to black people. Now you finally waking up and be like, well, shit, we were wrong. No, shit. For years, I've been trying to tell you that. I've been trying to tell some of y'all that shit for years. And what do? Y'all be like, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. You're just a hater. You're just an Uncle Tom. Oh, okay, cool. That's why Black Lives Matter organization is going bankrupt and they begging for money right about now. Oh, all $98 million gone. Where? Because it didn't go to none of the families. You get what I'm saying? This race hustling shit is getting tiring. I don't want to be a sloppy second. I want to see more original stories featuring blacks. But you got to do it the right way. You can't do shortcuts. You can't do half measures. You can't disrupt people's history and lore of their characters and their worlds and then expect me to support it when it's stupid. Just like this Little Mermaid movie. The visual effects looks fucking terrible. There's no damn bubbles. It doesn't make sense for her to have dreadlocks in the water. Salt would have dissolved her damn dreadlocks. People don't understand how that works. Why you think black folks can't get their hair wet? The water detangles our hair. So if you have braids, especially if they're not good, if they're not loose, if you put enough salt in your damn body, in your hair and stuff like that. Oh, I've seen girls with perfectly hair. Let water hit that shit. That shit turns into something else. So there's if you're asking me to believe in certain things, you can't do dumb stuff like, oh, King Triton is Hispanic, but he has several black daughters, he has several Asian daughters, he has several Latino daughters. But I think, and I didn't even think I only even seen no white daughter. But all of the daughters came from different parts of the world. Because if you look at the damn actors that they got to play the damn sisters, they literally all come from different parts of the world. Make the shit make sense. Then Prince Eric's mom is black. How, Sway? Oh, Prince Eric is adopted. Okay, all right. In the 1800s, a black island, a black kingdom. Oh, okay. In Europe, off the coast, not being conquered by Europeans. Oh, okay, sure. All right. If you expect me to believe that stuff, I got a boat to sail to you then. Like, it just doesn't make logical sense. Like, you're asking us to believe too much. Like, you're saying that, oh, it doesn't matter, the story's not real, but then you bring in real world things that to the point where you have to ask these questions. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this nonsense. You know, we got people crying over fake black area. We got people trying to say that this is a win for black culture. We got people trying to attack people for not liking the movie. We're trying to accuse the world of being racist for not liking the Little Mermaid movie. It is pathetic. And I'm sick of it. The movie is trash, period. Some people like it, that's great. You can like it. But honestly, it's trash. Watch the 1989 movie. For God's sakes, they couldn't even get fucking Bubbles in the damn movie. Bubbles! You know, when you swim in the ocean and speak in the ocean, bubbles usually form. You don't even have that. Flounder and Sebastian and Scuttle look pathetic. Then they had the nerve to gender swap Scuttle with Aquafina, and then she had this terrible ass song. It is just crazy. And then Haley loses her voice, and the bitch has a song. How? You lost your voice. Why do you have a musical number in the movie? We are on Defcon Stupid right about now. There's a reason why Netflix is getting sued. There's a reason why there's backlash with Bridgerton. There's a reason why people are just there's a reason why the Little Mermaid movie isn't doing well. The world is sick of forced diversity and inclusion, and you trying to make it seem like the world is racist. No, the world's not racist. You guys are racist for even accepting sloppy seconds to think that you are good enough. Aren't good enough to have anything original anymore. I want to see original shit featuring black people. I don't want to see villains or characters, because they're not popular enough, getting race swapped to black. I want to actually see DC and Marvel actually bring out original black characters. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you share the same damn name as a white character. As long as you went through the hero's journey and stuff like that, I'm fine with it. You get what I'm saying? Because I know there are some people who be talking about the mantle shit, and I get it. I do get it. But if a character has gone through the journey, and is original to whatever they're trying to do, I think we need to see more of that. I want to see more. And there are a lot of original black characters and a lot of original black content that I would love for people to see and stuff like that. Hell, I'm trying to read more original black stuff. I'm trying to find original black material to support, because I want to support black indie people or whatever, stuff like that. But sometimes y'all give me trash, or you want to lead with race, and that's such a turnoff to me. Do not be like, hey, if you ever want to see a black Batman, but not really called Batman, but act like Batman that happens to be black, or because we don't see ourselves enough in comic books or manga or whatever. So I created them a book so we can finally see ourselves. No, stop it. I want you to have a good story. The characters just happen to be black, but I want a good story from you. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. This bullshit of taking classical white characters and making them black and trying to tout that as a victory for black people, pathetic. But like I said, it just shows how weak-minded black people are, honestly. And the white saviors that think that they're doing something by trying to defend this shit. You ain't doing nothing. You just showing how racist your ass is too. But those are my thoughts. I'm sorry this video kind of went on a big old tangent. It went way longer than I thought. But you know me, you know how it is. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you guys see The Little Mermaid? Do you feel what I'm saying? Am I wrong? What? Let me know. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.